and gents, welcome back to Pitstop!
Max Verstappen!
He's back to his old ways, isn't he?
It's absolutely unbelievable to see, isn't it? He's won absolutely everything he possibly could have got other than the fastest lap this weekend.
Wow, really?
Yeah, everything.
Who had that then?
Kimi Antonelli managed to sneak the fast. Yeah, here we go, double clap to start off the episode. Yep, the United States Grand Prix is over. We had a sprint, we had qualifying, we had a race, we had one practice, and we have a lot to talk about.
Max never went anywhere, really, did he? He just had maybe just like a little school summer break.
Yeah.
I thought that's what he just had his feet up for the summer.
And now we know that he's got a lot more control of that team. Do you think that is what we're starting to see?
I do, yeah. And I've got a note about it.
Yeah.
We could probably get onto it later.
Yeah. We'll go on to it later. But overall, there's 40 points in it. Let's put it. We'll say it right at the beginning. 40 points behind Oscar.
Mental, isn't it mental?
That is so possible, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Are we surprised, really?
No.
I think there was definitely like a period over the summer, British summer, so like June, July.
Yeah.
Where it was like Oscar was on top and he was looking like no one would really question if he was going to win it anymore.
Yeah.
And in the last 3 months, everything's just completely changed.
Since Christian's gone, really. You know, there was the first couple of races where they did struggle a little bit with Christian gone, and I thought, oh, they're going to have to rebuild. Yeah. But because this has now gone in Max's direction, and Jos is there pulling strings and making calls, I would say they're probably going to make some pretty good calls. And maybe that's what we're going to see for the rest of the year. So I might have to move my money to Max.
True. To be fair, everyone talks about how like what other teams are going to get who, but like who are Red Bull going to get?
Yeah, exactly, mate. This is Red Bull. You know what I mean? They're going to be able to do something.
To be fair, I don't think they need anyone.
No.
If every single member of that team left Red Bull and it was just Max and his dad back to the karting days, I think they'd still win.
They'd still win the World Championship.
You see Jos like doing the pit, running around the car.
They actually would. Right, let's right to the beginning, the sprint. Because we have to talk about that crash.
The most exciting part of the weekend, I thought.
Well, yeah.
The race was a bit trash, but the sprint was great.
My race rating's going to be higher than last week, so I'll give you that.
What was last week?
Singapore. Yeah, I do have a few interesting notes about the race. But yeah, the sprint. Yeah. We started off with an Oscar, Hulkenberg, and Lando crash, didn't we? Which pretty much looks like Oscar wipes Lando.
Yeah.
Initially, what are you thinking?
Racing incident.
Yeah?
I'd say so. What do you think?
It's probably Oscar's fault. It's probably the first time on the pod this year that I will admit that one is Oscar's fault, because I don't think it's a mix of Hulkenberg not being used to being there and also Oscar being so focused on only being ahead of Lando. Yeah. You know, Oscar is only looking at Lando's car on that cutback. He is not expecting Hulkenberg to come into the side of him, is he?
You're not expecting... I mean, maybe he should have expected someone to be there because it's turn one.
Exactly.
You know? It's a wide track, though.
Yeah.
Oscar, originally, he was going to go around the outside and he made the switch back in. It's not the first time that we've seen that happen.
No.
Like, drivers have done that in the past. It's always worked. I think, like what you said, it was a combination of Hulkenberg maybe being like, I've not been here before. And he's like, maybe just, I don't know. Obviously it's Oscar's fault. Was it what Lando did to him in Singapore? No.
No.
It wasn't. He got pinched.
It's a tricky turn one, isn't it? Like, considering it's not a very long run, and then you instantly have to turn pretty hard left. So to get everyone round that is going to be messy anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, racing incident. We don't need any repercussions. I think McLaren now have enough problems on their hands.
They've got a lot of good things going as well. But yeah, they do have a lot of problems going on.
They do have a lot of good things
on and off track as well.
Oh, Kimi Antonelli said something interesting in the sprint. Yeah, did you know that in the sprint, Kimi Antonelli's cooling vest didn't work? Oh. It was heating him up instead of cooling him down.
Wow.
They issued a heat hazard for this race, and he had a water vest that was heating him up during the sprint.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Can you imagine that?
All this new technology, there's going to be flaws. There's going to be things that are going to go wrong. But I do think it is unbelievably clever that they are now in a day and age where they're going to have like cooling outfits. And who knows where this means we could go.
I mean, I like that. I like that he had to do that hot because like in this day and age where like everything is just so like perfect and everything that you need is there, like a cooling vest.
Yeah.
When something doesn't work, technology doesn't work, you should be able to go out and do it anyway.
Well, I've got a question for you then.
Okay.
If 19 drivers used a cooling vest and one driver didn't, would that one driver be significantly quicker? Because we were told that a haircut would make a difference. Or we told it wouldn't make a difference.
I think maybe with a helmet on, it probably would.
Oh, it might have been wouldn't make a difference, actually. But if you had all that water, like, you know what I mean? Like liquid or whatever it is, added weight. Is it added weight?
Ballast.
Ballast?
Yeah, they all weigh the same, don't they? But it's not about maybe the weight. It's more just about the conditions. I like it because, you know, I used to go up scaffolding with no high vis, no helmet. I wanted my boss to kit me out in case I took a fall, but they didn't do none of that shit where we're from.
No,
you had to go out and do it anyway.
You had some pretty rickety, raggedy climbs, didn't you? Some of the pictures you would send me up them scaffolding poles.
Like gear or no gear, go out and get the job done.
So at least health and safety was taken seriously, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I won't mention who my boss was, but yeah, there was definitely a few shady things going on.
Yeah. Before my final note of the sprint, I will say I have caught the godforsaken illness. By the way.
Yeah, he caught it.
It's not.
He caught it. And fam, it's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I feel great.
I've been struck now. I'm really, really ill.
It doesn't last that long though.
And we're actually going to Munich tomorrow for something unbelievably exciting.
Yeah.
Don't want to say anything about it on the pod because you will see it in video format. Final sprint race note: Carlos Sainz, P3. He has got his second podium of the year with Williams, so you can have a clap for that.
You know, Albon would have been in that garage like, oh, you bastard.
Yeah.
You bastard.
He can't be liking it, can he? Because it's very similar to Oscar Orlando, where Albon's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
But it's almost like, well, it's only Sainz actually getting anything, isn't it? You would be pretty angry, I think.
Look, mate, there's a new fucking cowboy in town.
There is.
And his name is Carlos Sainz, and he's got the fastest motherfucking horse.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
agree.
So it's the way it goes, isn't it?
I absolutely agree with Sainz, and I think a lot of people have forgot that when he was in Ferrari and no one else won that year, he was the only other driver to win a race. He is one of the best drivers on that grid. So he deserves a sprint podium. What happened to the race is another story, but...
Well, do you know what? It wasn't just Carlos who was going for that move on that thing.
No,
and I like it.
Carlos.
I liked what he was doing, just trying to dip in on the inside and you cut... Because the corner, I don't know which turn it is, but it's like very sharp.
Is it 12? Because I remember them saying the only two overtaken spots are like 1 and 12 or something. But there literally is 2, isn't there? There's like, that's it. You have to do that lunge.
No, that's wrong. Because there's the main straight at the back where most people were getting it.
Yeah.
But there was that one bit, I don't know where the hell it is. I should know, but I don't.
Through the squiggly squaggly.
Through a bit of a squiggly squaggly. And he was just... And it's the same thing that Behrman did.
Yeah.
Where Yuki was like... You, no way, and he took him. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that because that was a brake test.
Yeah, it was a push. It was a shove.
We know how bad they go for when we race on the game. They never end positive between us.
Never.
So it was a brake test.
It was a brake test and a swerve.
They're lucky that no one hit, did they?
A swerve. He went right off his line.
It was unbelievable for Molly to avoid it.
Push him into the gravel.
Why do you think Yuki would do that? It was
because
a silly thing.
Yuki is like, he's like, what do I do?
Yeah, but he's actually been better in the last couple of weekends.
Yeah, still not great though. But whether it's Yuki's fault or not, who really knows? I think it's a combination of both, to be honest with you. And it's another note that I was going to kind of get onto later, but maybe I'll kind of just...
Well, yeah, we can move on to our race notes because the sprint is pretty much over. We had qualifying, everyone knows what was what. But yeah, I do have quite a few very important race notes. But breaking news! Austin has been extended until 2034.
Great.
Yes,
It must have been that fantastic race we had.
Yes, it must have been. Well, before we do our notes and stats, why don't we outright rate it and then people will know what they would think we're going to get?
Well, everyone that I speak to, my dad included, he's like, I would love to drive round Austin.
Yeah.
And I'm the same. Like,
lovely and wide, isn't it?
wide, lots of runoffs.
That squiggly squaggly would be fun.
You've got elevation, you've got all these things going on. So it would be an amazing circuit to... Yeah, and you know, it has produced some great races in the past. I just think we got unlucky with this one. It's the ground effect cars, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, there was moments of it I really liked. I love the track, I love the atmosphere, everything about it, but obviously none of that's to do with the racing, so that's pretty great.
Yeah, it's like, it was a ginormous American flag.
Don't get me wrong, everyone's obviously buzzing for turn 1. That race is very, very long, which I was so excited about after lap 5 because I was like, oh my God, this is going to be unbelievable. You've got Charles starting on softs. Like, this is going to be a crazy mix.
Which was a great.
Which was, yeah.
Great,
We'll get onto that. but it just didn't evolve. And I think I said to you quite a few times throughout the race, like, I find it, I say this every week, and I'm sure other people watching think the same, but I find it so frustrating, that gap. The train, just this track, because it's so big, you can see the exact gap between every car, and it's just like, what on earth is this?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like a relay.
Ground effect cars, mate. Really, that's kind of what it is since 2022.
So it's not to do with the DRS. It's not because of the DRS that they're stuck in a train.
Well, the DRS obviously helps, but then if they've all got DRS,
I know.
then, like they're all 14 seconds quicker.
Well, that's
I know
it.
some cars are better than others, but like, is that margin big enough? They were chatting on the TV about how they need to like move the DRS zones earlier, because on that big long straight at the back, you're almost like
once you get it.
halfway down the straight before you get the DRS, which is not really enough. So they either need to make them longer, which I don't know if they can do that on all the circuits, or you sack this ground effect BS off, which I know like on paper sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But it ain't really working.
Well, I mean, they must have looked at everything going on over the last couple of years and for next year's car. Like, that's what we were talking about throughout the race. You'd hope that they're looking at this.
I should know whether they're sacking off ground effect or not in 26, but they're not, I believe.
No. Well, either way, I think they're going to need to change quite a few things to actually not have it like that.
Yes.
So, yeah, my overall race rating is going to be a 6 for Austin.
Same.
6?
Same.
Yeah.
Whole weekend, 7.
But in terms of Max can have a 10, a flat 10, because it's amazing to see what he's doing, and I'm so happy. This is exactly what we wanted. We wanted to go to the very, very end.
If it's a 3-way in Abu Dhabi...
We love a 3-way.
Wow, I love a 3-way.
Yeah.
I love them. That's going to be an amazing race. It's going to be an amazing race. While we're on the subject of Max...
Yes.
George and Kimi, they've extended their contracts with Mercedes.
They have.
And there's still a little bit of that going on. A little bit of chatter about, Toto still sniffing around Max. And you can see why Toto would be doing that. My question is, why would Max even entertain the idea? Look what he's doing. Red Bull is his.
Yeah.
Red Bull, they may as well rename that team Verstappen Racing.
Yeah, they actually, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is where we're going.
Because Max and Jos are running that whole damn team. They can do it, them two on their own.
Literally.
It's Max's team.
Well, no, let's give credit to everyone else there as well. They got a new team principal. And...
everyone back at the factory.
But in terms of who's pulling the strings at the top, yeah, you've got...
Of course. And, so, like, Max has got it better than any other driver, pretty much in the whole history of the sport. Like,
no one's had it better.
It's unbelievable.
It goes back to, like, the olden days a bit more, when it was a bit more, you could hide stuff. And we're like pre-2000s, and you would have a driver that would buy a seat and go, you've got to put him with me because I'm not racing with anyone else, because you'd get the choice. Max is doing like an old-fashioned style.
If you want success, like you can't be fair. You got to be a bit shady.
I think it is fair. I honestly think it's fair because...
Well, it's not against the rules, is it?
No, it's reading around the rules. There's nothing stopping any other driver on this grid from creating that amount of control and power. But
and that's what Zach's tried to do with Lando.
Yeah, but Lando doesn't have 4 world championships, does he? So
and they've also hired a driver who was probably a bit better than they thought he was going to be.
That is... Yeah.
The other thing as well is that, Red Bull being like, they're like 4th in the constructors, Mercedes are 2nd now, but they're only 10 points behind them. The Red Bull are 10 points behind Mercedes with one fucking driver. With one driver.
That is crazy, isn't it?
Mercedes have the history, they have the lineage, they've got Toto, they've got everything, working in their favour besides the car this year. Like, they've got 2 stellar drivers as well. It's just the car isn't really in the right spot, is it? So, and they're doing better than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
But why Max would ever entertain it, unless there's a shift at the end of the season, unless Toto can unzip his trousers and say, "Hey, you can have a bit of that," then why would Max go to Mercedes?
Yeah, I think the Red Bull next year would have to be terrible for him to leave at the end of 26. Because right now, there is probably more chance in that team becoming called Verstappen Racing than there is of him ever leaving. Like, genuinely. Yeah. He's just being able to build everything he wants. And he's winning. So no one can say anything. Like, whatever they're doing is clearly perfect. But the next man that I think definitely deserves a clap and a round of applause, I think unbelievable weekend for Lando Norris. I think he did as much as he possibly could. Yeah. And especially right at the end, when we thought Ferrari were... Oh,
What
the tripod just broke.
Oh.
Well, it was already broke.
Oh, great.
But yeah, when we thought the Ferrari had done the unbelievable strategy and it looked like Leclerc was on their mediums and going to be able to go to the end, and Lando just sat there. He just sat there. He wasn't gaining. And then there was like 7 laps left and he just suddenly ripped off 7 seconds and took Leclerc.
Yep.
I think it was just really well played by him because it was a strategy game, wasn't it, that top 3?
It was lovely racing
Yeah.
between him and Leclerc.
Yeah,
Fair,
it was, wasn't it?
Beautiful side by side. Like there was some beautiful things going on.
I liked it because I like seeing more of Leclerc.
Yeah, me too. And you know, it
We
would
haven't
have
seen
been
as
nice
much.
if he had the P2, but fair play, he got the podium.
Yeah, podium.
The thing for me, mate, is yeah, obviously, no doubt, Lando had a great weekend, maximised it as much as he could. But my question is more so just as like, you know, why has Oscar's car just seemed to get, you know, incredibly slow out of nowhere? It's almost as if we could have seen something like this coming.
Yeah.
Now, I pulled together a few numbers.
Yeah.
It's nothing groundbreaking, stuff we already know. But you know, it's weird how slow he's got, randomly, out of nowhere, considering he's been so fast all year, possibly the fastest driver all year.
He's led the most laps.
Exactly. Let's look at some results. Lando won Australia, first race of the year. So, great, that was great. Come Bahrain, we start to see this sort of Oscar Piastri arc, where he wasn't winning every race, but he won Bahrain, he won Saudi, he won Miami, he won Spain. He survived Lando's kamikaze lunge in Canada. And I think over the summer, like I say, Oscar didn't win every race, but over the summer, I think we could all have been fairly confident that it was like, it's Oscar's championship in the bag.
Yeah, well,
You
I
know?
think we did say them exact words on the show, so yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't just us.
No, I think
Other people
everyone
said-
assumed.
Yeah. Lando had a few wins in between. He won Imola, Monaco, Austria, Silverstone, obviously. But yeah, so everyone's eggs, I think, was in Oscar's basket. And then come to like Hungary, or like from Hungary onwards, there's just been like some weird things happening, you know, with the pit stops and like Oscar like making these kind of weird mistakes on track that we've never seen before. Like, you know, when we went too early out of his pit box before the lights went out, he went straight into a wall, you know, like things we don't normally see. So my question to you is kind of, we know everything that's going on at McLaren. We know the narrative. We know their set of rules. Why has Oscar's car just got so slow out of nowhere?
Well, thank you for your question, Fab. It's a fascinating topic. Well, I think... Correct way to say it. I think that... Actually, there's a few things. One thing I will say is he is still a young guy who has suddenly got an opportunity to potentially fulfill his dream right at the beginning of his career. So even though he is really calm and does look really calm, I guarantee you he's really stressed. Like, imagine the pressure, and he's fighting. He's actually got a chance to do the one thing all he wanted to do.
Yep.
And he's in the midst of that. So I think that will be playing a part. He hasn't got anywhere near as much experience as Max, who he's around, or even Lando on track. No. So he's dealing with that. He wouldn't have raced at these tracks as much as the other people. But I think in terms of the pits going wrong, Lando had a bad pit this weekend. Oscar's was good. So I think that's an internal McLaren issue. I
want to talk about that. I want to talk about the pits.
Yeah.
Because they practice them every Grand Prix.
They do.
And in between Grand Prix, they'll be practicing pits.
They do.
I don't know if they're messing it up in practice or not, but why, when they come to the race, all of a sudden, have they got a new guy on the gun?
Well, they did interestingly say that with McLaren, the first pit's good and the second pit's bad. It's almost like this, and then they were talking about the swap over. Like, it might be something wrong with the swap over, like the swiftness of getting the tyres out the garage. You know, they wheel them out the back and they have to obviously swap everything over for a new car to come in. Something may be going wrong there, or may not be quite as smooth.
Sounds like clutching at straws to me a little bit.
Well, who knows?
This is like one of the best Formula One teams in the world. And their training program and the things that they'll make their pit crew do to get to this level, they practice every week.
Yeah, but everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days.
Everyone has mistakes, but repeated mistakes?
They are making more repetitive mistakes. Considering they've won the Constructors, they're making a lot of mistakes for a team that won the championship compared to everyone else. which is interesting. But that's where it's like, it just shows you how good the drivers are. Even without everything being going wrong this year in the pits or whatever, they're still first and second. But no, I don't think anything...
You know me, mate. You know how I feel.
I think Oscar's fine.
You know how I feel. Luke, bring the camera in closer. You guys need to wake up at home. Okay?
Here we go.
Just pull that wall from your eyes. If you really think that this sport is clean.
It is clean.
Yeah, all right.
Well, you have your moments. There'll be things going on behind the scenes.
You've been in rooms with me where we've heard conversations. You know damn well this sport is not clean. And I'll leave it there. Yeah. But if anyone at home doesn't know there's any shady stuff going on
Someone
behind the
who
scenes,
definitely didn't have a clean weekend, Franco Colapinto.
I thought it was clean.
Well, he overtook when he was told not to. He was told.
But it was a beautiful clean overtake.
It was amazing. It was amazing, and potentially one of the best things he did all race.
Best thing he's done all year, to be honest. I haven't seen him on TV at all.
Isn't that a shame? The year started, everyone really hyped about this Argentinian rookie, and it is exciting. He's young and everyone loves him, but it has been quiet. I wouldn't want to be going back to Briatore, though, after that.
Well, I had a different opinion.
Oh, you did?
I had a different opinion on this. For a start, it was for no points, was it?
Yeah.
It was no points. So when they've asked him to hold the position, you're like, fair, because you ain't trying to compete for points here.
Yeah.
But he was clearly quicker than Gasly.
Quicker.
If you're being held up by someone, I get pissed off driving down a country road being held up by someone. So if you're trying to be quick, you know, it must be so annoying. And they told you the whole position, and you're just like, you know, and he just went for it. And to me, I think Flav is either, it's 50-50. Flav is either, you didn't listen to me, that's a big no-no. Or he's like, I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I love that. You went for the move anyway. Fair play.
Maybe.
It's one of two ways, right?
I do agree. Risk of damage would have been quite high up, though. I mean, imagine they'd hit, or it could have been a disaster. But maybe he did enjoy it. I don't think Colapinto is going to be there next year anyway. So.
No, maybe not. But like, at least he's having fun this season, right? Like,
yeah, that's probably why he did it.
If he doesn't think he's going to be there, then just have a bit of fun. It's just racing, you know. Go out and do some stuff. Like,
yeah.
I like it.
Lewis Hamilton's had a lot of fun because he has now got 5,000 points in Formula One. The first person ever to reach 5,000 points. And I can say here right now, quite confidently, I don't think that will ever get beaten.
Another record that he has set, which I also don't think will be beaten, is that Lewis Hamilton is the first driver in Ferrari history to not get a podium after 20 Grand Prix starts.
I can't clap it. Can't clap that one.
You can't really clap it, can you? No. And the sprint doesn't count.
Okay, that's a shame because the sprint was right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And he was close yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Didier Pironi, he held the record before this. He had 19 Grand Prix with Ferrari before he sealed his first podium, which was the 1982 San Marino Grand Prix. So Lewis is not going to be happy about that.
No, I'm sure Lewis isn't happy about that. Did you spot with Ferrari this weekend, though? It was towards the end of the race, maybe like 10 laps out, when Lewis was trying to when Charles was coming past... Who was going past who? They blocked him, didn't he?
Charles went off. He had a little hiccup,
Yes.
and then Lewis caught up with him, and he was going to overtake him on the straight. And Charles was like, "No thanks.
Yeah.
No way."
And it looked like It looked like he should have let him through because of the different tyres, and it would have made sense.
100%.
So I don't know internally at Ferrari how much teamwork they have.
Would Charles have a podium if he'd have let Lewis through? Then maybe not.
True. And it was a great race for Charles.
And that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Young Charlie Leclerc.
Young Charlie Leclerc.
Yeah. Thank you, Brundle. Yeah, I forgot his name was Charlie.
Because you guys go way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love Brundle. I do love Brundle. I was just about to say something, actually. Yeah. Once all this racing malarkey is all done and finished, and is Lewis and Charles going to go get dinner together when they're 50? Like, maybe. But I don't really put those two together as friends, to be honest.
No,
so
I thought we would have seen more of them together by now. And that little track moment just told me that they're both fighting for whatever they can get at Ferrari. I don't feel like there's much teamwork happening there.
I think it would be hard to be friends with Lewis. And I mean that in like the loveliest way possible, but like he's an entity.
Yeah.
He is an enigma. He is AAA star celeb, like the wanted man.
Yeah.
Everyone wants you. He's probably being pulled in a million different directions.
He's also a bit older than some of them, isn't he?
Yeah.
Only a little bit, but it does make the difference.
Quite a bit older.
Yeah.
He's like over 10 years older than Charles.
Exactly. So...
But it must be hard to be friends with someone like that when there's so much going on in their life. Like, I imagine you're trying to have a conversation with him and his phone's like, bing, 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 bing.
Yeah, and imagine how hard it would be for the team like Ferrari to then balance having Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc in terms of sponsorships, brands, everything. Because everyone coming in Ferrari is going to want Hamilton to be the face of whatever the partnership is for them.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be like, no, Charles will do it. Which is probably why we see Charles doing all the adverts, because Hamilton would not have gone to Ferrari if he had to do it.
And he's cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just the way these teams work internally is very interesting. But I think next year, my money's on Ferrari or Mercedes. So
Oh, wow, really?
yeah, absolutely. But you'll see at the beginning of the year the big 2026 predictions. But
Well,
it's going to be one of them two for me, for
There's
sure.
there's all these rumours about Christian, going to have chats with Ferrari and stuff, and like a load of people are against it.
Yeah, that's back up again, isn't it?
A load of people are against it, and they're like, why doesn't make sense? But quite honestly, man, with his track record, we know something's going wrong at Ferrari, and it's not Lewis, and it's not Charles. Bless him.
I think they had a good weekend.
Bless those two sweet guys. They did. They had a fucking phenomenal weekend.
It's a bigger, innit? It's
Because
internal.
Oscar's car was so slow.
Well, really, the Ferraris did Max a huge favour, because
They
if that
did,
Ferrari
yeah. They
wasn't in
held
the
up
way,
the
Lando
McLarens.
probably would have caught.
Exactly. But really, I think John Elkann just needs to be like, look, Christian, you can just have a bit of Ferrari. And I know that's going to be hard to give up. I know that's going to be incredibly hard to give up.
Ferrari,
But we
mate.
know that's what Horner wants. Horner wants a piece of the team, doesn't he?
Yeah, I just don't think that Ferrari would ever give that away. I mean, a team like Alpine can probably be like, you know what, we're not at the level of where we'd want to be yet, so it makes sense. Ferrari is so established and worth so much money, to give away even like 0.1% of it is probably not worth it.
It would be the biggest, most controversial move, unexpected. And you're right, they are established, and it is Ferrari. But something's not been going right for a long time. And they've tried to change team principles, they've tried to change drivers, they've tried to change pit crew, and it just hasn't done nothing. So, like, what's the last thing to do? Actually bring a head honcho in. Bring someone in who actually does understand.
But then with the bringing in, and it goes back to like our conversation with Gino. If they were to swap him and bring him in, really it's one man. It's not like Christian's 50 people, is it? He might have an internal team he'll bring with him, but God, it isn't an overnight thing.
He'd have a couple of right-hand
Even
men
if this is
here
what
and
they
there
get wrong,
and-
isn't it? They sign someone and then they don't give them time to
The
change
time.
everything. They get them in a year and then they're gone before that one person can actually change anything internally.
Yeah.
If you're going to sign someone like Christian, you got to go, right, sounds crazy, but like it's 4 or 5 years, and we know that it's going to take 3 years for you to actually swap this garage around. But I don't know whether Christian would have like a head of staff, someone who would know them people internally. So
It's almost like they've got a great team principal in Fred. Like maybe he needs to fulfill like a consulting role, in a way. Try and guide the team a bit more.
Well, I think we'll see that more. I think you'll see more people in teams floating around without a proper role. And we'll all look at it and be like, why are they there? What are they doing? A bit like Jos at Red Bull.
A bit like Gino Rossato.
Exactly, just like Gino. Imagine every team is just hiring as many consultants as possible in different areas to add on. I think that's what we'll see. So maybe Christian will end up going somewhere in a role that isn't like described, and we don't really know what he's doing.
Yeah,
But
and
you
honestly,
can guarantee he'll be doing something.
And that would be the best thing for him. Stay off the radar. Stay out of the limelight.
You think?
You've had years and years
No,
of like...
he needs it though. You know for a fact if he's back in that paddock, he'll be in front of the camera. He loves it. That's one thing for sure.
He does.
Christian does actually love it, because there's no way he does that much media if he didn't.
But a man will become corrupt if he has everything. And that's what happened to him.
Do you think?
Yeah. It would be that the downfall of any great man is, you get too much. You get too much. And I think they get complacent. I think that's what happened to Christian.
Well, maybe Red Bull had too much this weekend and they got complacent, because Red Bull got fined £50,000.
43.
Oh, yeah.
43,000.
Well, I'm in euros, mate.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, okay, conversions and all
fair.
that.
Euros actually should be the way to go, by the way. Pound off. Why have we got the pound? Yeah, I think euro.
Yeah, I would quite like the euro. Why are we not in Europe?
Why are we not driving on the right-hand side of the road?
Yeah, crazy.
Why are we
isn't
using
it?
miles per hour and not kilometres?
God knows.
Ridiculous.
Anyway, I don't make the rules.
Do you know why they got the fine?
Red Bull were fined 50,000 because they removed Lando Norris's grid box tape.
They tried to.
But yeah, and I actually saw the picture of it on the wall where they've like moved it
Did
and
you?
put it on the wall. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, I don't think this would have actually been intentional. I could be really wrong, but I can't imagine anyone of a following team on the grid outright ripping up some tape or.
Well, I have some more information which might clear things up.
Oh yes, please.
So this is not the first time that Red Bull have actually done this.
Well.
And they've always gotten away with it in the past. They've never been burnt for it ever. The reason why they got caught this time was because the marshals that look after all the people that come in and off the the grid, they come straight off the grid, they peel into the pit lane when the drivers go out on their formation lap. And that's why, because the drivers had left for the formation lap and team members from Red Bull were trying to pass the marshals past this gate. You know, there's like a line. It's like a red line, isn't there, that you can't walk over. And they'd stepped over that line and they didn't listen to the marshals. And actually, that's why they got the fine.
So it wasn't actually for ripping any tape?
It wasn't actually because of the tape. It's because they were on the grid once the formation lap had started.
Oh, okay. Well, there was a picture on Twitter of like some tape circled on a wall that you can see someone's like stuck to a wall.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure whether they... Because I was going to say, it seems a bit advanced and extreme. Like.
Yeah. And the other thing is that the FIA have suspended half of the fine. So actually, they're only getting fined 25 grand. And they have to pay the other half if they do it again.
Where does the FIA fines money go? I think we've raised this question before.
Yeah. Bring it away.
That's literally like stepping
Food.
over a line and doing the wrong thing. Oh, 50 grand.
Yeah.
Who gets it?
That's like a deposit on a house.
I know, it's not small amounts of money. Like they throw around these fines like it's nothing. And I feel like there should be maybe like an online website of the amount of money raised that year in fines, and like it shows where it's going. Break it down. Have a bar. Have an online tally that says 50 grand from signs, and then break it down. You've given 10 grand here, or
Give it a charity.
well, this is what I mean. They make enough money, mate. They can afford to do something.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do have some form of scheme, but I don't know about it. So.
Well, we know that F1, they do involve themselves in a lot of amazing charities. But where does the fine money go?
Yeah, I'm talking the fine money specifically.
Probably just straight into the pockets of Bernie Ecclestone and Jackie Stewart, and they're just like drinking it away and eating it away. And I mean, that's what I would do.
I would do it
if
as
I
well.
was collecting money from fines. I would caviar, lobster,
Yeah, same.
Wagyu A5 Wagyu beef, cooked on a grill on a table in front of you, medium rare, maybe rare even. Wow. With all that fat caramelizing in the middle, and like, oh my god.
Quick shout out to Ollie Behrman as well. Started 8th, finished 9th, but it's good points for Ollie.
You're a
No,
like you said that so nice as well.
Because when I wrote it down, I thought, how do I word that? But he still got points.
Yeah, and he should have been 8th if you think Yuki did something wrong.
I think good race for Ollie. I think he's still on that trajectory to Ferrari, so I'm happy about that.
He was furious actually about Yuki.
Was he?
Yep.
We're off on a really exciting trip tomorrow. We will tell you more about that on Thursday. But the final thing is, obviously, in the last episode, we asked you to send in some questions, and I took 2 from the comments, and they're really small on my
That's all
phone.
who commented.
There was like 4, but these are the 2 I've gone for. If you want to ask us anything, comment it down below, and I'll pick some. But this is the first one. It's from Finn Lav. And it says, so Lawson came on the pod and he got the fastest lap, so he's a good driver. But because of what happened at Red Bull, do you think he will get the chance at a top team again, or at least win a race? Now, firstly, thank you for recognising that the pit stop fastest lap makes him a great driver, because clearly he is the quickest driver in the world. Secondly,
Quicker than Oscar Piastri.
Fab's going to take over here. Do you think he'll get a chance at a top team again?
No. And I don't think he needs that in his life, to be honest with you. This almost sounds backwards saying that, but...
I actually do think he'll be there next year.
Yeah, same.
And I think that is a good thing.
I think the only way that he gets a chance at a top team is if V-Carb become a top
Another team.
Or a top team.
Or he just
they're just doing really good.
Yeah,
The
or he
car's
just
great.
outperforms everyone and then someone wants to buy him. He could suddenly turn into a monster.
Yeah. Some people in life, they have one thing that they're good at. Some people in life, they're really good at being a person, a good human being. Liam Lawson's one of those people. That's
Yeah, he is a really good human being.
a good human being. So whatever happens to him,
That's true. I don't want to see him go for any of that bullshit again in a way.
if I'm completely honest with you, I don't know if he'll get a chance at a top team. But as long as he can achieve his dream of being in Formula One, if he can get a podium, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, you want to
If he
see
can
it.
win a race, that'd be amazing. But I don't know if that's going to happen because he's not in the right car. But the car's good, and Isaac's got a podium. And if Liam can get a podium, I'll be very happy. And if he's here next year, I'll be very happy.
Yeah, and not many people can even relate or understand his situation. But like, we literally had Liam Lawson here sat in the flat to announce he was driving for Red Bull. And then like 2-3 races later, he's ripped out.
Yeah.
This was like his dream. And now he's racing in the junior team. So I think at absolute most, he deserves a seat for next year.
He knew it was going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
And you could tell he was nervous about it. Like, even the conversations that we had off camera, we were like, Red Bull Max, this is crazy. And he'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude, like, a bit nervous, dude. Like, and it's like, yeah, I can see why.
Yeah, I want him to have a good year now. I want him to stay. Final question, Lara Taylor. If you guys were in charge of McLaren right now, what would your game plan be? Because they really need a culture shift. Or if you were Oscar Orlando, would you think of switching teams? What would we do? What would be our game? Right, me and you step in right now. Zach Brown and Stella have come and knocked at the door. We need you. We seriously need you guys. Okay, right, we're in. What do we do?
Bro, it's so hard.
I'd sit Oscar and Lando down. Start off with a fun war, just to see who's got the upper hand initially.
And then shirts off,
Shirts off, arm wrestle.
12 rounds,
Slip and slide.
12 3-minute rounds. Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know what they can do, to be honest, because there's no way of telling any of these drivers that they can't fight for it. Like, it's a world championship.
There's just no way you can make a calculated decision now when you don't know the full ins and outs of what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know how much pressure Zach is under from one side of the team compared to the other. And I'm sure Zach doesn't want to make this difficult. He wants this to be as simple as possible. He doesn't want to be caught up in this tornado. So he's trying to manage it, but he has been in bed with Lando for quite a while. So, like, how do you balance it? Personally, I would have said in the middle of the season, which is what Zach's been saying anyway, is that we're going to let them race. And quite honestly, I think that there's been some external influence over Zach, which has pinned him in a corner where he kind of has to favour Lando in a way. I'm not going to say who I think it is and where it's come from. It's pretty obvious. But I honestly, genuinely think Zach had like the best intentions for both drivers, Oscar included. And when Oscar started doing amazing, I genuinely think he would like let them race. And I think there's been someone else in his ear saying.
So you think that like the team have let them race this year, but the actual issues have come from when it's the team's bit. So like the drivers have just been racing. But when you think about it, the problems have been when it's down to the team. It's been the pits. It's been
I think we've
decisions, who goes out where, who gets a toe.
We've got halfway through this season, and it's looked like Oscar was going to get the championship. And someone's not been happy about that, or a group of people have not been happy about that, and they've sat Zach down over a dinner, and they've said, "You've got to do something about this."
You're talking about this like you know it's true.
I don't need to say anymore. You choose to believe me or not.
Well, what would you do then? Let's answer the final bit of the question. Oscar or Lando, do you think either of them were going to think about switching teams?
Lando,
not right now.
Lando, no. Oscar, I think it's absolutely on his mind. Maybe not for next year, but potentially year after.
And if it's not on his mind, it's definitely on Mac.
Yeah.
Mac
Is it on your mind? What would you do?
Nothing next year because he's still really young to it compared to Lando. How long he's been at team, and look, he's winning the championship right now. He's had a good year. I just think it's going to be messy because only one of them drivers is going to win. At some point this year, one of these drivers is going to be shattered, and imagine the come down from it. One way or the other, there's going to be an argument of you should have done this, you should have done that. I don't see this being a clean breakup. I actually think Nico and Hamilton 2016 when it was super close and Rosberg won and then quit straight after.
Is a
kind
breakup
of gives
ever
me
clean?
the same feeling. Like Something's going to happen after it. Who knows what? Who knows what? I don't know. I'm just excited. There's energy because Max is saving the sport.
He is.
Thank you, Max.
Can you imagine? Imagine Abu Dhabi level on points, and they both cross the finish line, photo finish, like the two noses of the car. Then what do? Have we ever been in a position in Formula One where two drivers have gone over there at the same time? You can't even measure it.
I think there's been some pretty close ones, but maybe not at the exact same time. But that reminds me of the end of yesterday's race. Hamilton had a puncher, didn't he? And he nearly got taken right at the end. It keeps happening to Hamilton at the end of the race.
If Liberty Media wanted to create a storm, and they've lost a few fans after a couple of years since DTS has dropped off a little bit, like the viewership's gone down a little bit. It's still great, a little bit. If they wanted to bring people back, what do? You have a photo finish, level on points at Abu Dhabi.
And then what do they do though? How do they settle it?
Arm wrestle.
How about this?
A thumb war.
It's a freeway photo finish. Lando, Oscar, and Max. Everyone would just be looking at each other.
Everyone loves a freeway, so.
Everyone does love a three-way, and we'll leave you with that. Thank you very much for watching Pitstop. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Maybe hit the subscribe button as well. Nice. And the like. Anything else?
Bell notification.
Yeah, we wouldn't mind a bell.
Thanks for the lizard. I didn't actually read in the comments.
Yeah, there was a few lizards.
People say it.
Yeah, there was a few lizards. We are currently thinking about Halloween outfits.
Yeah, I've got a great one.
You actually are a bit like a lizard today. That's a bit lizard colory, and that is actually a. It's not an arachnid, is it? It's a spider.
No, it's a snake. It's
a
reptile. A reptile. Yeah, I wanted to get a ring with a snake on it. I'm feeling very. I'm kind of feeling like the significance of the symbolic nature of the snake.
So you would have been in Slytherin and Harry Potter.
Well, I don't know about that. Slytherin, I haven't really watched too much Harry Potter, to be honest with you, but I do know the gist. And I don't think Slytherin would have been the team for me.
No.
I think I would have been Hogwarts.
I think you're a Hufflepuff kind of man. You actually shout Hufflepuff.
Sorry, not Hogwarts, Gryffindor. I would have been Gryffindor, I think.
You would have been Hogwarts. I didn't even clock.
You'd have been Hufflepuff.
Yeah, Hufflepuff, puff.
But the snake, I do love, the symbolism of a snake. You know, shedding skin, kind of reinventing yourself. Letting go of the dirt, letting go of the past, and like brand new version of myself. And also, if you look back in like ancient history, the snake is actually good and bad. It can be, sneaky snake, or it can be, the snake. So I love the snake at the moment, and I love Deftones' new record, Private Music. If you haven't heard it yet, check it out. And playing us out on the acoustic guitar is Jake Barnes.
No, don't put me under pressure.
There you go.
What do I play? I don't know.
What have we got? What have we got?
I don't know many songs.
A card love.
That's even one different song.
I'm one of those guys that claps every time.
Hope you enjoyed that. As you can see, I am not very good. Bye.